We are talking with Tim Herron, someone that has reached the pinnacle of competitive shooting and earned the title of Grand Master.
But first, are you tired of your money going to big tech companies that are censoring free speech? Check out Free Speech Alternative, conservativeeconomy.com/gun owners radio. You can shop electronics, home goods, office products, and a whole lot more. And you know what you can find on Conservative Economy that you can't find on Amazon? Guns. When you shop at Conservative Economy, you also help Gun Owners Radio. Just go to conservativeeconomy.com/gun owners radio. That's conservativeeconomy.com/gun owners radio.
All right, so we've got Tim Herron on the line.
Yep.
Tim, are you there?
I'm with you.
Awesome.
Hey, Tim, this is Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. Finally, it's nice to finally hear your voice. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so Tim Herron is the owner and chief instructor of Tim Herron Shooting. His website is timherronshooting.com. So, Tim, I wanted you to tell us, how did you start in competitive shooting? How did you get so good? How did you become a grandmaster? Because this is so interesting. Because I do competitive shooting, and I suck.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I suck.
Nonsense.
That's why we're gonna train together. So I
Nonsense.
suck.
This is great. I mean, everybody has to start someplace, right? I started shooting actually when I believe it or not owned my very first pistol. Back in 2010, I wasn't one of these folks, that was kind of born and raised around guns or, in a family, comprised around, gun ownership and things like that. And in 2010, I kind of had some life changes and things that happened that kind of led me to, I guess having a feeling that I needed to, to be able to protect myself and my family. And it's for a lot of reasons that most people get into their first, buy their first firearm. It was very soon thereafter, as I was going to the range all the time. And I'm one of those kind of people that, when I start doing something, I'm not just kind of dip a toe in the water and, hey, this is kind of neat. I seek out instruction. I want to be the best at what I can do, given whatever the hobby or lifestyle or, whatever it is. And that kind of started me on this journey. I found competitive shooting with United States Practical Shooting Association, USPSA, about 6 to 8 months into my journey as a shooter. And man, it's things just weren't the same. They just were awesome to find a sport where, you could do things like learn to draw from a pistol, or learn to draw a pistol from a holster fast. And, you're timed on things, and you have to shoot accurately and you have to shoot expediently. And it just, to me, it was just one of those things that it really grabbed my attention and it became something I wanted to do all the time. So, from the time that I started shooting until about 2014 is about how long it took me. So about 4 years to go from, a brand new shooter to the level of Grand Master. And as a Grand Master level shooter,
4 years.
In about 4 years. So, and honestly, working with a lot of students, that's kind of about the average amount of time that somebody that is really determined or kind of dedicated to, I guess, honestly, shooting is kind of like just any other kind of martial art. 4 to 5 years is about the average time for somebody that is really driven to succeed and improve to about how long it takes them to get to that point.
There's about 4 of us here that shoot. I don't know competitively, but at least 2 of us do. So Joe Dramisi is one of our hosts, and he actually shoots competitively too. I've shot matches
Awesome.
with him. My problem is
Mm-hmm.
I'm accurate, but I am slow. That's
welcome
probably
to the club,
my that's my worst thing is I am slow, but I'm very deliberate at my shooting because I figure tactically if I'm going to shoot somebody in self-defense, I want to hit them on the first shot. I don't want to miss.
I totally understand. And I came from kind of that same, there's kind of two camps there as far as shooters, right? There's folks that, they immediately kind of pick up, obviously, the importance of accuracy and become very accurate shooters, but unfortunately don't know how to kind of put, kind of be able to put the speed foot forward on things and learn how to carry that accuracy into being able to shoot, to be able to shoot faster as well. The other side of the house, right, are folks that kind of, they pick up shooting or they start shooting because they watch somebody either like on a YouTube video or maybe on TV or a movie or things, and they see things like, like John Wick movies or things, and they're like, oh, that's so easy, like anybody can go fast, and they learn to go fast really, really quickly. And unfortunately, they struggle in the accuracy department. So my job, as an instructor, of course, is to be able to blend those two efficiencies together, to bring the most efficient and accurate shooter I possibly, can build somebody to be, and then also be able to apply the speed to them as well. So, and that's kind of how I started. I was a very accurate shooter, kind of more bullseye based, like I wanted to shoot, like the wings off of a fly, so to speak. But, of course, I was doing it very diligently and very carefully. And USPSA and competitive shooting actually kind of taught me how to build the speed on top of that. So, fortunately now I kind of feel like I've got the best of both worlds there. And of course, it's not that just because I made, the level of Grand Master, it's like being a black belt, in a traditional martial art. It doesn't mean that the journey is over for me, right, or that I've achieved. It just means that, like, okay, great. Now I've just got to continue to hone and work on those skills for the rest of my life, to continually improve them as well. So it's always an improvement.
I have two law enforcement ladies in here, and I kind of like to ask them, in your shooting journey, what is your strength and what are your weaknesses? And Joe, the same thing with you. What would you like to improve in your shooting?
What are you asking first? You just asked all three.
Okay, well, I'll grab it first here since I'm here. Because, it's just like Tim was saying, starting out there, building that speed and accuracy, because that's the approach, and everybody knows this too. It's you start out with the accuracy, and then you get faster until you're not accurate anymore, and you dial it back, and you just try to progress that way. But that, I think, as Melissa was saying, I think that was my biggest struggle too, is because I tend to shoot I still shoot production. I'm thinking about moving over to carry optics now. But
that's probably the most prevalent division, I think, right now in USPSA. I mean, just looking at over the last 2 or 3 years of growth in that particular division, it's become the most popular for good reason too. So
yeah, and I think with the production stuff, I mean, working with the iron sights and everything, and practicing the fundamentals, you get up to a part. But just like Melissa was saying, I tend to. Okay, I'm moving quickly from target to target. My split times are pretty good, but I dwell on that front sight for longer than I should. It goofs me up. So I think that would be my biggest challenge here, progressing.
Oh, man, that's I hate to say it. That's an easy fix. Like, I look at that and I start wringing my hands, in like joy. I'm like, oh, man, have I got some great things that we could work on that would really peel away a lot of those, I think, formalities, right? I think a lot of shooters or a lot of folks, have these preconceived notions that you must see this visually in order to accomplish this, and that's not necessarily the case. So there's a lot of things like in my classes that I think would help, like I said, kind of peel away the layers, so to speak, to let you see just potentially how fast you can see and how fast you can shoot and remain accurate as well.
Okay, we're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right, so Ash, what do you think you would love to learn from Tim or improve in your shooting?
I think my biggest weakness...
Push it over there.
My biggest weakness, and as a police officer, we don't train this enough, is shooting on the move. Running and shooting, walking and shooting. When we qualify, at least in my department, we just stand still at like different lengths away from the target, and it's just stagnant shooting. But when it comes time to like defend my life, I mean, if I'm not behind cover, I'm going to be running to cover and fighting back. So I think when you're moving and shooting, your accuracy is going to change. So it's something I definitely need to improve.
I couldn't agree more. And that's where like my curriculum and my program, like it really pays dividends. And I do teach like private law enforcement, classes as well as open enrollment classes, for competitive shooters and hobbyists. Like I said, I also do work with different departments as well. And that's always the biggest, kind of foundational change in their shooting is they just don't, like, I hate to say it, like most officers don't get any sort of training like on the dynamic side of the house, right? Like how to enter behind a wall or barricade or, a structure of cover, like with the gun up ready to do work sooner, right? Or what to do if you need to leave that position to something else or be able to shoot on the move. Or, like I said, I think a lot of like what I love to be able to expose to police officers is the more confident I can get you behind the gun, then the less that the problem at hand becomes about the shooting solution. You're able to apply, kind of your bandwidth of thinking power to other problems, right? And if I can get you to problem solve more effectively with the pistol in the hand, then chances are the pistol doesn't become always become the solution. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So before we go, I wanted to mention Tim Herron's website, and you can look at all his classes and sign up there. He's actually going to be here this weekend, and I think you have a few spots open, don't you?
I do, yeah. I'll be at the Academy Southwest Range there in southern San Diego, and I'm coming in on Friday morning, and my class is on Saturday and Sunday, and I think there's four or five.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah. So if you want to
I'd
sign
love
up,
to have everybody out.
Go to timherronshooting.com or message him on Instagram.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.